I'm Sandy O'Connor. I'm part of this wonderful cast for Love Lies and the Doctor's Dilemma that we're going to perform on June 15th, 16th, and 17th, and it's a production by the Theater Guild. The wonderful part of this play is that we have just 6 roles in the play, and I want you to hear what all of these actors have to say about being a part of it, because it really has been a fun experience, and we are only 2 weeks out. Let's talk to the actors and let's have them tell us. Evelyn, you start. Tell us about your character, how you feel about it, how you feel about the experience.
Well, Olivia St. Clair is a wonderful character. I think she's every woman's dream to play. She's bossy. She wants to be waited on hand and foot. And she's overbearing. She's like between a Greta Garbo and a Norma Desmond, if any of you have seen Sunset Boulevard, etc. I have a lot of fun with her. Each day I just add and I get bigger and bigger, not physically.
We hope. We hope.
Hi, Sweetie Pie.
Sweetie Pie. So speaking of Sweetie Pie,
Yes,
these
I
two
love it.
actually have a little romance going in the play.
Please don't tell them what's
I
going on.
know, we don't want to tell all the secrets.
Yeah.
But Louis, tell us
Indeed.
about your part, because yours is so
Oh,
much
this
fun.
is a fun part. The character I play is Vinny the Enforcer. I would say this is like a meeting between Joe Pesci and the Three Stooges.
Very good.
Oh, that's terrific.
This is the enforcer for the mob. He's a collector, and his big love is his gun, who he's named Bertha.
Bertha.
So Bertha plays a very big part of this character and of the show itself.
And maybe just give us a little example of the voice you use in your character.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Jesus, guys, come on now. I want you to do something right. Listen, I'm the enforcer, and you have to do what is right, and I'm here to collect the dough. So, now that's my other
Pay up,
voice.
right?
Chow. Chow. You got to do chow.
Oh, ciao.
Oh, well.
Every time he leaves the stage, he has to say,
Chow.
Yeah, that's kind of a signature for me. As I leave the stage, I say, ciao.
so. Okay, and now it's Artie's turn. In this show, Artie and I become just so enamored by each other, and we become boyfriend and girlfriend. So tell about your character, Artie.
He's a little bit of a playboy. And when he gets a look at Sandy, he,
Rachel, actually.
well, that's your character.
yeah.
He
Right,
says,
right.
oh, she's for me.
Thundering bolts.
And I owe money, but there's more to it than that, so I'm not going to reveal it now.
Because they need to come and see it and
That's
find
right.
out what the mystery is all about.
But we've had a lot of fun putting this show together. I would say that I've had more laughs in the rehearsals than in any show.
Any
That-
show we've done, yeah.
Just
It's
funny
very
stuff
hard
is
to
happening in the
to be-
show and
yeah.
in the.
It's hard to have a straight face when you're rehearsing.
Yeah,
and then we have
That's why
one
we
guy.
rehearse so
We
much.
really should
who's a
have
really
get used to it.
Yeah, we have one actor who's a real instigator.
Whoa!
Wow.
Yeah.
And so another, of course, and Artie does some very strange things in this thing, but we don't want to tell you that because this is the part you definitely have to come and see, correct?
Right.
We don't want anyone to know about,
No.
Yes.
But now John, who actually plays Sandy, that's his character's name in the show, not to be
No,
confused
I'm
with...
Sandy, not you.
I know, I'm Rachel.
No,
and you're
I'm Sandy. You're Sandy.
No.
No, we're both Sandy. That's been part of the problem in the show when the director says,
All
Sandy,
right,
who
you
you
guys,
want?
get together and get your act together.
Get your act together, you
Get it, go,
guys.
come on.
Love it. So tell us, John, because you have one of the fun parts of your character is you give us nothing to work with when you're feeding us along.
Yes, everybody loves me because the lines I feed them aren't worth diddly to be able to figure out what your next line is. And then I'm somewhat tripolar because I play a couple different mental characters that.
Don't tell them who you
Yeah, I
play,
can't
let
give
them
that
come
away,
and
but
see.
it's been a blast, and
Yeah.
working with this crew has
Yeah.
been beyond wonderful. We have had so much fun, and it takes forever to do one of these shows.
Which is
It's only
another.
been months?
It's
only been
1,547 hours just to do a show.
Well, that-
No, you
yes.
can't.
You know, that's really the sad part. We put so much time and
Yes.
energy into this, and we
That's
only
right.
have a chance to perform it 3
3
times.
times, yes. I used to complain when it was 4 times. Now
yeah,
it's-
but-
Yeah, well, we
Enough.
cut the one matinee, I
one
know.
matinee, yeah.
And that's the only thing, because besides, like, we were estimating hours, and we figured about 100 hours in rehearsal, but then we have to add in all the outside of rehearsal hours that we all spend working our
absolutely.
lines with
Oh,
our
24/7. No more TV. I don't know what's happening on
The
Stranger
news or-
Things or the
You don't
news or
wanna know.
whatever. Yeah, really.
Well, that's very true.
I'd much rather have this and laugh.
We're not allowed to have a life because we have, what, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, all day. We're in here,
Well,
practicing.
the last play that was done
you get
here, they
evenings off. What do you
rehearsed
want?
like
You get
5
evenings
days
off.
a
What do you
week plus
want?
weekends,
Weekends
so
sometimes.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah, we're lucky. Carol's
Yeah.
very understanding. Carol, our director, has also been an actress many times in this theater, and she understands. She looks at our faces and said, "I think we're done for the day." I mean, she really understands how we feel. One other thing I wanted to just chat about briefly is the fact that we've all worked together before,
Yes, we have.
and many times.
Yes,
And
we
I'm
Yeah.
so
Anytime.
sorry. I apologize to you guys. And working with me is ruining your reputation. So I just want you to.
But we have. I mean, we've been in different plays and musicals
That's
together.
right, yes.
And it maybe it was a little more. Maybe it was easier to bond that way. I don't know, but it just started to work right away.
The other thing that I want to mention about this show is that there's a lot of physical stuff going on.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
It's not just learning lines, it's learning.
A lot of
to
choreography.
move. Yeah,
Timing.
blocking
Yes,
and
yes.
pratfalls and.
That takes a
and,
lot of
I don't wanna give
rehearsals,
away
a lot
too
of
much,
practice
but
to do that,
there's
yeah.
a lot of physical stuff
Yeah,
going
oh,
on.
Yeah,
yeah.
and this guy comes out of the closet, so I just want to make sure.
Several times.
Several times.
several times.
There's a lot of hiding and running and all this stuff, and that's really part of the fun. And the second act is where it really gears up.
Yes.
I mean, it's typical if a show is well written.
No one leave at intermission because you'll miss
You'll
You
miss
missed
the
the best
whole thing. You'll miss the whole. You'll find out
I don't
everything.
think they'd want to leave at intermission.
I don't think
no.
so either.
And we had to take out extra insurance, workers' compensation insurance, because of this lady. I mean, she is a.
Miss
I just- Well, no, she's
Not
just.
klutzy.
She's just
Did you call her a
dangerous.
She's a one-woman disaster area is what she is.
So what's that like, Sandy, playing kind of this klutzy
Oh,
person?
it's way too much fun. To me, we'll see how it all ends up, but it usually ends up well when we do our shows. And I think this could be my favorite part ever because, she's not very bright, but she seems to be able to get to do things that she always messes up, and she can't even pronounce the English language properly, and she's just like off in her own world because it's like everything is wonderful. She doesn't worry about it, but she's constantly in trouble, and everything that happens to her, she can't understand because
Yes.
it's not her fault.
Right. And
It's not her fault because she's really
Olivia is
into-
also off in her own world. She
Yes.
expects everybody to wait on her hand and foot.
Right.
Yes.
So we both have that going, and you were going to say something, John?
Yeah, you're really into brownies.
That's it. Oh, yes. Well, there's another little aspect of this that
Yes.
is something that's being grown, and it's being made into brownies. And it's interesting because this play was written quite a long time ago, but it's definitely all about the weed brownies.
Yes, down
the
by
weed-
the same author. What is
Who's
it?
in bed with the
Parker,
butler.
Susan Parker and her husband. Who's in bed with the butler? Yes, and
Which
that
was
was
another
Which was
funny
a
farce.
very funny show.
That
as
was a
well,
funny
that's
show.
right.
Remember that one with my pet rat, the one with the mink
she was
coat?
the
Yeah.
maid, and he
I was
was.
the slimy lawyer.
There you were.
You're
Yeah.
typecast, dude. You're
I
typecast.
know.
That was slimy mobster.
Right, so I want to know, we've got this fabulous facility, right?
Yes.
And so talk about what it's like to perform on this stage. I mean, we're lucky to have it, right? And
We really
with
are.
the- With the full house. Give people some kind of feeling about what that's like, because you've all done it on stage here. What's that like?
Right. Well, it's just an exhilarating feeling, and we can see from behind the curtain. Well, we actually have TV monitors back
Yes.
there, so we can see the people coming in, and seeing the seats fill up, and it
We
gets-
also have monitors in the dressing room so that we can hear when we're in there, when our part comes on, we hear what the show is going on and everything. And the feeling that you get from the audience when they react to you. And it's going to be very difficult for us because there's so many laugh lines. You have to know when to start and stop because you don't want them to miss the next laugh line.
That's
Right,
exactly
that's-
right.
We guarantee when this guy first comes on stage, there's going to be a total meltdown of laughter.
There you go. And I think the biggest reward for all of us, we can't help ourselves, is that we just get this real buzz out of the reaction of the audience.
Oh, yeah.
When we did this last musical, and Friday night was good, and Saturday night all we had to say was boo, and they were laughing. I mean, they couldn't stop laughing at anything and everything, and that's our reward. And then the applause, of course, is our reward, and that's I guess why we keep coming back.
I think one of the reasons that we do this, I know it is for me, that when I'm out in that lobby and I see the faces of the audience and how much they enjoyed the show and what it's done for them, and it's filled them for a couple of hours with happiness and laughter, and it's so rewarding. I just keep wanting to do it, even though I say, I'm not going to do this again.
Yeah, well, how many times have we said that?
Oh, but listen, you're forgetting about all the money we're making.
Well, there you go.
We put in for double pay. So
Oh, my
Carol
gosh,
agreed
there's
to
the
give us
overtime
double pay.
pay.
Overtime
Yeah,
pay.
right. And all the theaters calling us because they want us, I mean, come on. But it's true, and we always have this reception line outside, and the people, many of the people that come often to our shows, so they know about the receiving line, and we are out there, and that's what Evelyn is referring to, because they come through the line and they just have these big grins on their faces, and they want to tell us. They want to tell us how much they enjoyed it, and that just it does it for us. And Gil is here, or as we love to call her, Joan, because that's her character name.
Unless you're calling me Olivia or calling
Oh,
Olivia
Joan, yes. we
That's
do
another problem.
Yes.
We call each other by the wrong name sometimes in rehearsal. We will fix that by the time we perform.
That
all
has
right?
nothing to do with over 55 whatsoever.
No.
Nothing
Yes.
whatsoever to do with it.
Are you over 55, John?
Oh, Joan.
55 what?
Actually, Gila, tell them a little bit about Joan's
Look at that, over
character.
54.
Oh, Joan.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Joan is a very nice, lovely lady who is recently widowed and has found another love. However, they
There he is.
they enjoy right. They enjoy at a time when it is illegal some marijuana-laced brownies every morning, and eventually this gets them into some trouble. And Joan is the kind of person that wants to help. And she wants to help her brother who's in trouble with the mob, her neighbor who's in trouble with herself, her
Well said.
sister-in-law who's in trouble
Oh, yes.
with love.
Yeah.
And in order to help them, since she really doesn't have too much facility, she lies.
Yes.
She doesn't mean to lie.
Just little white lies.
Yeah, they're not really. But it's the only way she knows to help all these people that she truly loves dearly.
Oh, poor
Well
Joan.
said. Well said. But of all of us here, I think you're the only. Well, I think Louis has done some professional things.
No, not really.
Not really.
I thought you did some ads and things. No.
Yeah, a little bit.
Little bit.
Oh, yes,
but let's talk about
yeah,
Gila a little bit, because
commercials.
you've done work in New York, and what kinds of things did you do professionally?
Oh my God. I've done summer stock, I've done dinner theater, I've done off-Broadway, I've done regional theater, I've done some movies and a little bit of television.
Yay.
There
She
you go.
agreed to come be with
That's
us.
what I'm saying. Wow.
How lucky for us.
How do you feel about that when you know that it's not the same as it was, but here you have these opportunities?
Well, I think this is great because, frankly, I sort of gave up the professional acting end of it to do more stuff in life, and this has sort of brought me back to it, and it's been great
Can you
fun.
imagine that without any pay?
I know.
Yeah, after she got used to being paid. There you go. But she got used to being paid. There you go. But again, it's just been a joy for all of us. And I think the biggest thing is that it goes down to the bottom line, which is when we end the show and we walk up and we take our bows, that's when we feel the big reward.
That's when we need to go see the psychiatrist.
That's when we need to go see the psychiatrist, because why are we doing all of this for just about 3 minutes of applause, right?
Well,
But
that's
no, but
true.
I'll tell you,
But-
we're doing it all because we have a great laugh. We laugh a lot.
We
We
do.
enjoy each other.
Yes.
We're having a really good time at rehearsals. And I have to tell you, our director is so calm. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She just lets us laugh. She's really fantastic. We
I
can
would
stop
say-
in the middle of all the serious stuff we're doing and just crack up.
Yeah.
I would say
And
that
she'll
if
crack
we
up with
filmed
us.
the outtakes of this,
It would be a great
it
play.
would be a great show,
for a whole
almost as
show.
funny as the actual show
It's a
itself.
whole different separate show.
It is. It really is.
In fact, we haven't had a couple where we said, Mark Rabinowitz, who does photography for GRF and also is so generous and does photography for us, I mean, we wished he was here several times because we said, oh, gee, wish we had that on video, right? I wish we had, because if he was here, he has caught things in the past that.
Well, he also does, when he comes, he takes a lot of video and pictures, and when we have our cast party, they do a slideshow, and so we see what we did.
We see the embarrassment.
Yeah, at rehearsals, and how we were dressed, and what was happening, and it's just a wonderful experience, and it's a daily joy to be
Right.
Yeah.
at rehearsals, and to enjoy rehearsals
Yes,
mean a
really.
lot.
It's
You know,
true.
It's
not
interesting
work.
that all of us, with all the work that we put into it, come Monday morning after the Sunday show, the letdown for all of this is just,
Not
Yes.
good.
oh,
No,
it is just
yeah,
awful,
yeah.
really. It's,
Yeah.
what am I going to do with myself now?
Yeah.
When's the next audition?
It really
When's the
is,
next audition?
yeah.
And do I want to do
Tremendous
that all
letdown.
over again? Yes.
you do.
Well, they say you don't remember pain.
Yes.
So if there's any pain, which means the hard work, it's forgotten.
Like childbirth
Yeah,
4
this
times?
is a
Could I
chance
have
for us guys
forgotten
to
that?
understand what it means to have childbirth.
Yes,
For the guys.
Yeah,
guy.
that's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
there you go.
You have no
Men
idea.
have,
You don't know the half of it.
You don't know that.
and he doesn't,
One of my
and he
lines.
doesn't want to
He
know
doesn't
that.
want to know the half of it.
What we're going to show you now is how we get ready to rehearse. Some of the actors are already sitting here reviewing their scripts because this is the week when we are supposed to be off book. That means we know our lines. Well, we do and we don't, but eventually we know them all. But one of the interesting things is we need to have a clear idea of our entrances and our exits. So on the floor are sticks that tell us here's a wall, here's an entrance, here's an exit, so that we can make sure that we're familiar with that. And then when the set comes in, which is only 1 week before the show, actually 4 days, we will be comfortable and we will be able to acclimate ourselves to the full, beautiful set that is created. Here comes Artie. Artie is actually my boyfriend in this play. And of course, Artie's asking, does anyone know where the ponchos are? Because this is a very important part in the second act. But he's always here early, always helping us to set up the set so we can move on and get going and make our rehearsal time effective. Look at the audience seats behind us. This is what we do this for. You know, we've got to admit that what we do it for is the fun and the applause and the laughter. And this show is particularly funny. It's a farce, and you're going to see so many antics, and you will have so much fun. But what we really want in the end, when we take our bows, is for you to think the same way we do. This is a wonderful, fun show. Obviously, it's really important to memorize our lines, and we're at the stage now, 1 month out, where we need to know our lines, and we're doing quite well. Carol, our director, is real happy. Louis Marcus, who's sitting behind me, is studying his lines, because one of the things you do when you're in a show is you pretty much have this script in your hand wherever you go, and you're looking for moments and sometimes hours to study those lines to get them perfect. We are lucky that this village is so generous. So we have people who have volunteered to help us run our lines, and this is going on all the time now, not just during rehearsal, because that doesn't work. It's happening on the weekends and at nights when they sit down with us and drill us on our lines so we can be totally off book. Behind me is Gila Zalone and John Kelsel, and they are the lead love interest in this show, and they are having a great time. They're both perfect for the parts. And then the rest of us, well, we cause all the antics. But on the other hand, Gila, who plays Joan, is the instigator of what causes all those antics. And you will see it when you see the show.
Do you ever get, grumpy, or like, does it get hard? How do you overcome when it gets kind of hard?
Well, that's interesting because generally speaking, everybody hangs in there. But one of the beautiful things about a good director, and Carol is definitely that, is they start to sense that. Because in our village, our directors have also performed. So their deal is, I've been there, done that, I see it. She looks in our faces, she looks at our body language, and she says, it's time to stop today. You've done enough.
How can you not know you had a sister? That sounds awful suspicious to me.
I'm sure Joan has a perfectly good explanation, don't you, dear?
And he didn't find out until recently that his mother had taken his little baby sister when she disappeared. And he only just discovered this newfound sister, and here she is.
Oh, right, I have a sister.
I gotta check on that and see about my partner. Ciao.
If you didn't hurt yourself.
Is it raining out there?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Mom, you're wearing a dress.
Yes.
Oh, well,
Yes?
it's like,
Come on, Joan. Congress doesn't take this long.
you see, it's like this.
Joan, no. I want Rachel to know the truth about Penny.
Well, at least put the wig back on.
There you are. Something terrible has happened.
You had to jinx it. I don't understand that line. You had to jinx it.
You're saying it
Because I
to
said
Joan.
everything turned out okay.
See, everything
and all
turned
of a
out
sudden
okay.
she comes.
It's peace and quiet.
See, and she says peace and quiet, and the
And
man I love and
You get
yeah.
mad at her, kind of. You had to jinx it. And then you look at Rachel.
You did?
You did.
You did.
Okay.
No.
You had to jinx it. Well, now.
Joan has said, Sandy, the man I love and adore, let's just enjoy the peace and quiet.
Okay.
See, then it
Okay,
makes sense,
and then
but I-
she comes in again. So her saying, let's enjoy the peace and quiet, and now there goes the peace and quiet.
Amazing. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. Wow.
It reminds me of the time when you were a little boy and we went on a vacation someplace and you got a fixation on.
Joan, it may not have occurred to you, but I'm in a most uncomfortable, painful, not to say embarrassing situation. It wasn't bad enough that I spent half my day running around the garden, wearing a dress, trying to keep a madman from breaking my knees. No. Now, for the first time in my life, I had the wonderful experience of fighting my way out of the toilet. So, if you don't mind, I would prefer not to spend the rest of my life with a toilet seat stuck on my head. And I would appreciate a little assistance.
So, tell us who you are and what are you doing for this play?
Hi, I'm Donna Doucette, and for this play I was cast as an understudy, which is actually my preference because I get to come to rehearsals, and if one of the 6 cast members isn't available, I step in on any part that they want me to step in on. I also, when we're not having rehearsals, I try to study the lines of 1 or 2 of the main female characters.
And what's the most exciting part about being an understudy in one of these plays?
Well, I love pretending to be the mobster. I just thought it was funny, pretending to be a rough and tough tumble guy with a New York accent and, rough in my ways. I just thought it was fun. And actually, this director, Carol, she makes the rehearsals. She allows the rehearsals to be fun in that it is hard work. And you realize how much is left to be done, so you know you have to work hard. But hard work is much more enjoyable when you're also allowed to laugh at the mistakes you do make.
So if someone wanted to become an actor in the Village, seems like being an understudy would be really cool.
It's a great way to be different people. Every day you might be asked to be someone different. I actually enjoy the monthly meetings, preparing for a short skit in the monthly meetings, because those are a lot of fun too and aren't as much work as these main stage performances. The main stage performances, believe it or not, are almost 3 or 4 or even sometimes 5 days a week. And it can be up to 8 hours a day. So there's a lot of effort goes in for the actors to fine-tune their performance, and then outside of actual rehearsals, they're studying their lines.
I was here in the morning, and then I came back in the afternoon, and I was thinking, I was relaxing, and everyone here has been working. Like, are you tired?
Yes, yes, I am. I went home at lunch, grabbed some hot coffee, and once more into the fray, dear friends, once more, to quote Shakespeare.
What's the hardest part for you?
Well, for me, I find I'm totally watching the entire thing, and in my mind, I'm hearing what they're saying. I'm trying to gently guide them through. If I hear something that I don't think is really going to work the way I have envisioned it, and to convey it to them. And I found the easiest way for me to do that is to explain to them what I feel the character is thinking at that point. And because I figure if they know what they're thinking, what they're going to say is going to come out right.
And how would you say today went for you?
I'm very pleased. This week, the first time we've gone off book. There's a lot of dialogue. We just did the second act once before on Tuesday afternoon off book. And considering that there's a lot of dialogue and a lot of action, they're doing super. And what's really beautiful is they're all in character. Going off book and staying in character is really hard to balance the two.
Because I was watching and I was thinking, I would probably be kind of frustrated up there. It just seems hard when you're not quite there and you want to be there and you're making mistakes and you just have to be really fluid, right?
It's very difficult for an actor, and I've been there myself many times, and so I think that helps, is that I feel for them, I know what's happening, and I try to ease them through it, because it's just that first time off, trying to cover everything and be in character and have the words, and if the words aren't there, you can't have the character. So sometimes, as some of the things you saw where they are actually having to more or less read it or repeat, almost rote. But that's a phase that they go through, and next week it's going to be totally different.
So it's just part of the process.
Yes.
So this was kind of a grindy day until they really get the verbiage down.
And then being a farce, it's also, it's delicate, but what I love is that my actors are coming up with bits of business themselves. And I'm surprising myself with some of the businesses I'm picking up. I'm tutored under several really super directors, David Deering, Sheila Bialka, Jeannie Sanner, Terry Fizet, all of who are, I think I've gotten a little bit of each of them, which has really helped me do this.
I'm thinking you must feel a big sense of pride on opening night and everything when it goes well, when you think of all the work that went into getting into that part, right?
Yeah, you do, because you look at them and you say, they did it. They did it, and the audience, that's the big thing. The audience has to walk away happy.